Yep, we're good. Fantastic. Kia ora, Tato. Welcome back to another Q&A here at Digital Boost. I'm your host, Georgia Hatzis, and today I have to tell you, I'm really excited to have Laia Sastre-Navarro with us. Laia is one of these really passionate people. She's a virtual business manager. She's the founder of Elevate Business Management. And when I reached out to her to have a conversation about what she could share in her expertise with us, we really honed it down to productivity. So, how to strategize and amplify productivity and time. Look, this is something as business owners, we always talk about how little time we have, right, Laia? Like we have no time for our business. We have no time for our families. We have no time for our lives. So we haven't talked about this in a while on Digital Boost. So I'm glad we have you here to help us figure out, all right, how are we going to strategize this? How are we going to get our time back? How are we going to live better and less stressful lives? Right? So welcome. So lovely to have you here. Oh, before I actually get you started, I'm going to let all of you know who are streaming in Q&A. Pop your questions into the Q&A box. Our chat is disabled on the Zoom, but in the Q&A box, you can ask any questions you want, and we will check those throughout. If you are streaming in from our socials, pop something into the comments. I will keep an eye out for that and weave you into the conversation. So please be a part of our conversation. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Laia. Lovely to have you.
Thank you so much, Georgia. It's a pleasure being here with you all.
Well, it's lovely having you. I actually like we had, I don't want to get into it, but like, we were like total girlfriends when we started chatting. We were like really honed in, and Laia's got so much beautiful mahi to share with us. So awesome. Let's get going.
Thank you so much. So, hello, everyone. I thought maybe I should give you a short intro by myself. As you can hear in my lovely true blue Kiwi accent, I'm not from New Zealand. So, I am from an island called Mallorca in Spain, and New Zealand has been home for the last 11 years. So, as a good Spaniard, I speak very fast. So, today I am making an effort to speak slowly. And so you can all keep up with my lovely accent. So as Georgia beautifully introduced, I am a virtual business manager. And what I do basically is I support growing businesses to simplify and have the right foundation to sustain their growth. I'm super passionate about time and productivity and structure, because myself having a 3 and a 5-year-old living in the other side of the world, having family support, having two businesses, well, my business, my husband has his own business, we just found life gets on the way all the time. So for me, having the right systems and processes around myself is key, and time is one of my most precious commodity today. So I'm super excited to be here to share a few tips with you all. So Georgia, should I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it. I just have to also take a pause to say that we have a comment in the Q&A already that says, "I love Laia's background picture."
So just for all of you to know, I was telling Georgia, this is New Zealand made designed by a New Zealand artist, and it's made out of recycled water bottles. So hey guys, if you want, I can share the shop with you, New Zealand made.
I know it was
down south.
It's funny that it was mentioned because we just had this conversation about how gorgeous that was. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Thank you guys. So let me just share my screen. And guys, I have two screens here. So just bear with me if I'm turning one from one side to another. So that's a good. So strategies to amplify productivity and time. So I'm going to be talking about three main things today, and those are working with your natural talents, time and productivity, time management and productivity tips, and then operational efficiency, automation, and operations. One thing that I want to mention up front is that there is not one solution for everyone. I know that we have many experts out there selling their methods or techniques, but I don't think that there is one solution that fits all. So I'm going to touch on a few different things. There is no way within an hour I can go through lots of things, but I want you to take away what works for you and dismiss what doesn't. And I always invite people to just try different things and see what works for you. Awesome. So let's keep moving. Working with your natural talents, that's something that I am very passionate about because the day that I identified what are my natural talents and I leaned into my area of genius, life became much brighter at work and personally. Why? Oops, sorry, I just skip one slide. So why it's important working with your natural talents? When you work with your natural talents, you feel energized, you enjoy what you are doing, and you are just more productive. So your energy management is much better if you are doing things that you love and that you feel joy what you are doing. You are being energized. While in the other side, if you are doing things that drain your energy, it's much harder, especially when we have to work many hours a day and a week to keep up with our energy levels being high. Also, when you work with your natural talents, you are aligned and in flow with who you are as a person and the work that you are doing. And of course, it leads to increased productivity and efficiency. There is a very good book called The Six Type of Working Genius. I'm happy to share that name and the author afterwards. And that book is super easy to read. And it's the story of Patrick Leonce. He's Italian surname, but based in the US. And he talks about the six types of working genius, but you can apply this to life and to work. And now he has a whole business around teaching teams how to organize your team that they are working within the natural talents. And I found this book eye-opening, and then I kept just learning about it through other New Zealand experts. But I think it's very important if you are able to identify what are those natural talents, you are going to have lots more joy in your work, and also you are going to avoid burnout, because burnout usually happens when we sustain lots of work and things that we don't really enjoy doing, and they drain us for a long time. So you might be wondering, what are my natural talents? How do I know what they are? So maybe I just put here a few questions. What do you love doing? What gives you joy? What makes you feel energized? You know, when you are doing a piece of work and you are thinking, I can't believe that they are paying me for doing that. That's because you are working within your area of genius, you know, and
that's like me. That's like me in Digital Boost. Like, I can't believe they're paying me to hang out with really smart people and help SMEs in New Zealand. I'm like,
but that's the thing. And look at Georgia's face and my face. We're just having so much fun having a conversation, just talking about something that we are passionate about. That doesn't feel like work. So it's just finding what's that thing that energizes you. Also, maybe ask, what is that I was known for at school or when I was at high school? You know, when others tell you, oh, you are very good at doing that, doing this other thing. We all have natural gifts that we are born with, but sometimes they come so naturally to us that we don't realize that that's a huge strength that we can leverage. Also, look at what are those areas that you excel at work, or what activities you don't like. They are work, but you don't consider like I am working, right? What other people say about you. For example, in my case, I just love giving structure to things. So strategic planning and implementation. I love implementing things. Like that's what I love doing. So that's why it took me a while, but that's why today I do what I do. It's because I identified those are my area of genius, and whatever that falls outside of that area of genius, I try to outsource or delegate, because as a business owner, and most of you with businesses, we try to wear too many hats and do it all. But that's actually a recipe for disaster in the long term. So when I understood why I'm feeling so drained, why I'm feeling so overwhelmed, and I understood where my natural talents lie, to start delegating and outsourcing, amongst other things, so you can just enjoy what you are doing. Awesome. So before I jump into the next section, are there any questions, Georgia, around this?
no, but I love that you went into like, how do we figure out what our natural talents are? And I just popped, just to let everyone know who's on the Zoom, I popped a link into that Working Genius website where they could do an assessment. I saw
Yes.
that there's an assessment on there. So
The assessment is only $20, $20, I think US dollars. But honestly, I read the book. I was very clear on where my natural talents were sitting. But I went and did the assessment, and then there are lots of resources in there for individuals and organizations. So
okay.
please go there and have a look. I found it eye-opening. Then you have a few New Zealand authors that and coaches that talk about that. So it's a topic that is, I guess, people are identifying. Nowadays we need to lean towards those things that give us joy, right? To enjoy life. Awesome. So let's jump into time management and productivity tips. Time, our most precious commodity. Nothing of the things that I'm going to be sharing now are new to you. I'm sure of that. However, I just want you to try some of them and see how it works for you. And if still you would like more techniques or other tips, just come back to me. I'm always happy to share more. But for prioritization techniques, I would like to touch into the Eisenhower matrix and Pareto principle. I know all of you probably know what that is. But
I wouldn't guess that people do. I don't know what these are.
No?
So
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. See,
Yeah.
that's one of the things, because I do that all the time. I just feel that because it comes so naturally to me, I just feel that everyone else also know that. So Eisenhower matrix, you'll see a few graphs from Asana. Full disclosure, I am an Asana partner and I use Asana. Asana is one of my tools to help me be productive, manage my workload, and prioritize my tasks. But basically, the Eisenhower matrix just allows you to identify those tasks that you need to get going and do now versus those tasks that you can delegate or schedule or maybe eliminate. So basically, if you have something that is urgent and it's important, it's something that you need to do now, you do it. It has a deadline, it's going to have a big impact in your business, you do it. However, if it's something that is very important but it's not urgent, you just go and schedule it. I use Asana, as I said. You can use any other tool in the market. There are many tech tools that can help you to prioritize your tasks, but always schedule those things so they don't fall down the tracks. And then we look at what's urgent and what's not important. Okay, if it's urgent, but it's not where our time will be better utilized, we look for someone in our team or someone outside of our organization that we can delegate or outsource that task. And then finally, not urgent, not important. Why are we doing it? Sometimes we find ourselves doing stuff that is that having an impact in our work, on our work or our business, so we can eliminate it. I always invite business owners to simplify, to look at where they are with their business, what's their workload, and simplify as much as possible, because the overwhelm comes when things get too complicated. So keeping things simple is a great first step.
And
Awesome.
Laia, before you move on, I just wanted to say, and this is exactly why I wanted you to come on, because we've had so many chats, especially in our workshops with some of the business owners who are like, I don't know how to prioritize. I don't know how to get my brain to do these things and put things in order. I don't know how to set up systems. And, the word ADHD gets thrown around a lot, because we're learning a lot how our brains are neuroatypical. A lot of us business owners and entrepreneurs don't walk that straight path. So it's great for you. Like, I'm looking at this with my insane brain and going, oh, thank you for giving me a blueprint of how to organize things in my brain. So I just wanted to just hone in on that, just to say how important systems are. So thank you. Continue.
Awesome. And I agree with that, Georgia. But again, I am a huge advocate for structure and systems and processes, especially you were mentioning ADHD. I have my neighbor and she's also a business owner. She came to me last year saying, hey, Laia, I've been diagnosed at age 40 something with oh my goodness, I won't say that now. ADHD, well, whatever. And she was like, now I understand lots of things and why I can get organized with my business. Would you help me? And with the first thing that we did, we took these quadrants, and we started saying, okay, let's look at what you need to keep going. And just sitting and planning and looking at, okay, what I need to do now and what can wait, it's a great first step to clear your mind and allow a space to keep moving forward. And then also we have the Pareto principle that if you put both of them together, it can have great results. So what the Pareto principle says is that 20% of the effort gives you 80% of the results. So looking at a business, for example, when you say 20% of my clients give me 80% of my revenue. So we focus on that 20% of the clients that give you 80% of your revenue, right? So when it comes to let's prioritize our tasks, it's like, okay, today, what are the tasks that I need to do this week and today? We can do that daily. And identify what are those 20% of the tasks that are going to give me 80% of results today in my business. And focus on getting those tasks versus sometimes we have huge lists, right? So let's identify what are those 20% tasks that are going to give me the most impactful results. And we do those. And if we have time to do more, great, but we focus on doing those tasks. And honestly, I know it might be tricky at the beginning, but as you practice and you get better at it, it gets simpler. So time blocking. Time blocking goes with prioritization. So I have my calendar. We all have a Google or an Outlook or a calendar. I have Asana. I used to manage my workload and prioritize, but I also need a calendar where I block time. Because starting your day with just a huge to-do list and an open day can be very tricky for some. So scheduling specific lots of time for different tasks and activities is very important. And I'm going to add on top of that, you schedule your personal activities too. Because if not, if you are like me with the 3 and a 5-year-old who has to do school pickups, and I also want to exercise, and I also want to, go to networking events, and I also want to do a number of things, you will never get things done. So I'm just going to share with you, please, no judging here, my calendar for one of the weeks in November. I even schedule when I have to change the sheets of my kids. It's in Spanish, but anyway, I even schedule when I have to do the, the changing sheets and, it's crazy, but it just helps me to empty my brain because I don't have to be thinking about anything. So I love colors. So the yellow are personal, right? So my husband does drop-offs in the morning and I do pickups in the afternoon. I also schedule time off on Friday afternoons. If I have any client recurring meetings, I have them in the calendar. And then the rest, you see, it's blank space. Why it's blank space? Because I have Asana, where in Asana, I have my daily, weekly, and monthly tasks. So when I look at my calendar, I see, okay, those are the recurring things that I have here in my calendar. Those are things that I can miss. So every week, on the Thursday or Friday, I look at the next week. How is my next week going? And I see where I can get client work done, where are the things that I can miss, where can I shift things around, and I create the calendar for the following week. Of course, this is November, and things are going to change from now till then. However, I know that I have 2 client meetings there, and I have a networking event, and I have the school drop-offs that I can miss. So I always make sure that what's important to me, like this, my business, but also my personal life, gets taken care of. And
I have a quick question about that, not to interrupt your flow here, but so let's say you've got your whole day planned out, but you can't do something, or you miss something, or you decide to sleep in, and so how do you handle the feelings of failure or catching up, or, what's your take on that?
That's a very valid point. And thank you for the reminder, because one thing that I always say, it's like allow space for flexibility.
Great.
Because if you don't allow space or flexibility, then some life gets on the way, and it happens often, and you get frustrated, or you feel that you are a failure because you didn't manage to, do the groceries plus the kids plus your 3 client meetings plus all the project that you are working on, and then you have to work at 10 at night. You know what I mean? So I think giving yourself some grace
Great.
It's important. And I will go one step further. Mindset is all, it's all. Every morning when I start my day, when I have my week planned, I look at my calendar. At first, I do my mindset work in the morning. I look at my calendar, and if something comes on the way, and if I have to move something, I just accept today something changed. How can I better accommodate this? And I do it without feeling guilty. It's like if you go to eat ice cream and you feel guilty during the whole time that you are eating the ice cream. Why would you eat the ice cream if you are going to be feeling guilty about it? If you are going to eat something that is not that healthy, at least enjoy it. You don't need it every day, so enjoy it, right? So try to give yourself some grace. And especially nowadays, we live in a society where there are too many expectations that they are not even our own expectations, they are external. So I think it's very important to connect with yourself and give yourself some grace.
Yeah, which is also why I like that you put in time off as well. Like you're actually scheduling rest time. Otherwise, we just get burnt out. So yeah, thank you.
Totally. And next slide, when I talk about eliminate distractions comes in general, like try to eliminate all the distractions that you can, but this technique that I'm talking about, it's a technique that will allow you to have mini breaks along your day, because it's not only allowing breaks at the end of the week or in the middle of the week, it's also during your working day, you need to allow breaks for yourself, and you are more productive when you have breaks. That people think, I keep going, I eat in front of my desk while I'm working in the computer, right? But actually you are more productive if you have breaks. So I would like to talk about distractions in two different ways. Generally, distractions, especially nowadays, working from home. I know many people find it very challenging because you're at home. Oh, I need to do the washing. I need to, someone knocks the door. Many things come up. So it takes a little bit of adjusting. I've been working from home for many years now, but I remember my first year working from home was a little bit tricky. Then I got used to it. But then I just have some systems in place to make sure that I don't get distracted easily. And one that I love is this technique, the Pomodoro technique, because what it does is that you work blocks of 25 minutes and have a 5-minute break, 3 to 5 minute break, 25 minutes, 3 to 5 minute break. And then after 4 rounds, you have a longer break of 15, 30 minutes. So you can have your lunch, something to eat and everything. But what it does is that these 3 to 5 minutes to have a break, give you some breathing space and actually helps you reset your brain. And then when you start the next focus time and a new task, you are just focusing and your brain goes straight into it. And actually it's, I remember when I was in corporate, I come from corporate and I was working at my desk and every 10 minutes someone will come and ask me something. And it was so distracting because our brains, it takes like around 30 minutes. I can't remember now exactly, but it takes around 30 minutes to get into the flow of doing something. And if you have something distracting you, stopping the flow every 10, 15, 20 minutes, I found it very challenging. One of the things that I love about working from home is that I get lots of things done. But of course, we need to be a little bit disciplined and it's not easy for everyone. So just give yourself again some grace and try it out. For those of you who track your time, I track my time. I think that tracking time is key if you have your own business to understand where your time goes and see how we can make things differently to get better results. So I use Toggle to track my time, and now Toggle has incorporated in the app the Pomodoro technique way of tracking your time. So you just start it, and after 25 minutes, it will beep and tell you it's time for you to have a break.
Laia, tell me what that app is again. What's it called?
Toggle. Toggle is Toggle. Toggle.
Toggle. Thank you.
I can share that with you later, but everyone probably knows about Toggle or Harvest. I think it's another one. It's time tracking tools. There are many in the market, but this, I just loved it when I saw that they incorporated the ability to work with the Pomodoro technique. And then, well, that was the second section about productivity, time management and productivity tips. Are there any questions, Georgia?
Let me do a quick check. No, it's just all my questions. I just have tons of questions. I'm here for it. If any of you do have questions, keep popping them in, pop them in somewhere. And I will, yeah, somewhere into like, from your brains into the Q&A, please. I'll give you a specific task. Yeah, or we can wait until the end. So
That's
yeah, keep going. Thank you.
awesome. So the last section that I would like to touch on is working more efficiently with automation and operational efficiency. And let me tell you something, I could talk about this for hours because it's what I do for a living. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to briefly touch on a few basic concepts. But for me, operational efficiency and embracing tech and automation is just the key to gain your time back. So identifying repetitive tasks. And that's very important, not to only do that for yourself, but also for your team. And it's very simple, but not many businesses do that. How many times you find yourself or your team doing tasks manually that they are repetitive, that they could be easily automated? Or you find yourself doing tasks that could be delegated to one of your team members or automated. So it's always looking at, okay, what are those tasks that they are very time consuming, that they are taking us away from what is really important for us in our job? Let's say that you are a CEO. Your time is not good, is not going to be well used if you are doing admin. So what do we do about that? And admin has a lot of tasks that they are repetitive that we can automate and we can delegate. So it's looking at those different ways of making our lives easy in our business. And also with our team members, hey, we have an admin person, but it doesn't mean that the admin person has to do everything manually. Let's automate. Some examples here, booking discovery calls. I know everyone uses those days Calendly or Acuity or a scheduling tool or Google. However, I still see people asking me, what's your availability like? Sending me emails back and forth. Do you know how long it takes to book an appointment? With a back and forth email. And not only that, if you are having discovery calls, sometimes it's very good that you can pre-qualify your leads before you have that discovery call. So if you automate this process, you can even book the call, automatically get them sent a sort of questionnaire or a tool to identify where they are at in the business journey and pre-qualify them before your call. So when you join into that call, you are well prepared and you can do your best and be your best, and you have higher chances to secure a sale, for example. Also meetings. You know how many times I join meetings and people are taking notes? And then it takes, half an hour to prepare all those notes and actions and distribute them with the team. So nowadays, with the Zoom recording, you can download the transcript automatically. And with AI, you can, in a minute, you can have a list of actions against each person attending the meeting, for example. Or reporting. Reporting is something that nowadays, with automation and AI, can be a 2-minute job. You don't have to be, I know that there is a little bit of work up front to set up the tools that we want to use, but yeah, we all should be kind of automating or semi-automating reporting, because reporting data allows us to make informed decisions. So let's move into the next one. Implement the streamlining and automation tools. So streamlining your business, for me, it's key. Setting up the right workflows and automation tools. So we are talking about those things here, like streamlining, and then which tools we are going to use to work more efficiently. So here I just put Asana, Zapier, or an email marketing platform, and there are many platforms that you can use depending on what your business is, service or product. You just look at what are the tools that you need to streamline your business. So here, the first example, I just touched on it, how to book discovery calls and pre-qualify your leads, and then create a proposals in a fraction of a time. I'm going to go through a business case at the end of the presentation to show you how a process that it used to take me personally and others 1 to 2 hours to deliver a big proposal, it can be reduced to 15-20 minutes with AI and automation. Another example, as a business owners, we all have to do marketing those days. Marketing and sales are the core of our business to sell our service or product. So when you have a lead magnet or a newsletter or something out there for people to subscribe, you can just, through automation, you just can have your tool to send them a welcome message, to send them the lead magnet, and then for the next 6 weeks, let's say, send a series of automated emails to nurture them, to explain that how they could benefit from working for you, what's the value that you add, and all of that. You don't have to do anything. You just spend a few hours upfront to set it up, and then you just let things flow. That's something that it seems very basic and easy to me, but still I see people reaching out to me. How is that you do this email? Think of you, like, can you explain that again? And I understood that it's because I love tech and I love playing in the background. It's something that comes very easily, but not everyone has the capacity or the knowledge to do that. So just getting that work up front that will save you so much time along the track through your tools and workflow, I think it's another key point for freeing up our time. And then the last one, SOPs, standard operating processes. I know people hate those. Sorry, I shouldn't use the word hate, but people hate those and I love them. And people are like, but how is that possible, Laia? Yes, I do love them. I do love creating them. I do love reviewing what businesses have. Like, that's what I am most passionate about. I always say that when I work with my clients, they tell me I am here, point A, and I want to be in point B. How can I move there? And the first thing that I do is like, okay, show me, what do you have in place right now? What systems and processes? How is the process to make sales in your business the moment that you have a discovery call, since you secure a sale and you deliver your project? And it's just looking at, okay, where are your operating processes? Oh, I don't have any of those. So how do you ensure that your team, all of them, know what they need to be doing and they do it on the same way, consistently and efficiently? Oh, just flow with it. So that's something that I'm very passionate about, and I do quite a bit is jump to work with people just to help them set up that foundation. So SOPs are the core, the backbone of your business, because having SOPs in place, standard operating processes, will ensure that a consistent delivery of your service or product, making sure that your team knows what they need to do, when and how, and then will be a lot more effective and efficient. So what that's going to do is it's going to increase your profit. And it's very interesting how lately I wrote last month an article about how businesses leak profit leakage for business, how businesses leak profit and how to stop that. And how I heard in the last 2 weeks, many people talking about that. But it's true. Many people know their businesses are doing very good. They are growing, but still they know that they are leaking profit. And they're leaking from it usually because they don't have the right tools in place. They don't have the right systems. Their team are not working in sync. So having those SOPs in place will help you around that. Some examples, onboarding new team members. That's something that I always mention, because onboarding is such an important part of business, onboarding new staff members, but usually it's so overlooked. Like, onboarding processes are not strong. And there is nothing worse than having someone starting new in a business and they just feel lost and they don't feel seen, maybe, or they don't feel that they are getting the support that they need. So having a strong onboarding process and having an SOP around how we onboard our team members, and depending which department they are on, of course, we need to tweak that. But how do we onboard our team members? How do we deliver our service or product? Like, someone comes to me and say, okay, Laia, I need to build a house. I give them a quote. That's how much it's going to cost you. Okay, I approved. Let's start. So how are you going to do that? Because if you need to build a house, you probably are going to need many service providers, like many different people, to build a house from the foundation up till the painters. So how do you do that? How do you coordinate that? So having a standard operating processes around how you deliver your projects, it's key. And also around sales and marketing. And for process lead generation is another example. Lead generation is becoming key. And nowadays, I know New Zealand is a small country and referrals are top of mind. And many people get business through referrals. But the reality is that in a year like this year, the market is slow. We are all facing tricky market and financial challenges for our businesses. We need to start thinking out of the box. Okay, referrals are great, but what else can we do to generate more leads, to expand, to grow? So those are only a few examples. Feel free to ask any other things that can come to mind and see how we could do those. But again, SOPs are key. And also I would say, don't create your SOPs and leave them sitting there. Standard operating processes needs to be reviewed regularly and improved, because it's not the same thing when you are a solopreneur with a couple of contractors that if you have a team of 10 or you have a team of 100. So as the business grows, those standard operating processes needs to be reviewed and improved. And technology changes quite fairly quickly today. So there are many tools out there. So always looking, if you are going to engage a new tool, it's like, okay, let's look at where I want to be in the medium term, like not in the short term, but the medium to long term, what is that I need to get there, instead of implementing something that's going to work today, but it's not going to work in 3 years' time. But yeah, basically, I am very passionate about those.
We have a quick question.
No,
before you get into the case study, I just have a quick question. What apps would you recommend for those reporting tasks? When we were talking about the different tasks, emailing tasks, reporting, are there any apps you recommend for reporting?
It depending what you use, because for example, for finance, most people in New Zealand use Xero or NYOB, so it will depend on the tools that you use.
Yeah. So what you're reporting.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Because the reporting will come from the back end of the data that you have for your business. So you'll have to create that reporting around the tools that you are using. You know what I mean? Like if you run all your marketing in HubSpot or in MailChimp, or you know what I mean? It's like you'll have different tools with different reporting capabilities. But I recently met someone that what they do is that they take all this reporting from the different tools and merge them into beautiful dashboards through AI and stuff, just to merge all that reporting. So there are many different options, right? But as I always say, let's start by the basics. Don't get overcomplicated. Let's start with what you have, and what you have is holding you back. You take the next step up, right? So I'm not saying to anyone now, just go and get someone to create the customized reporting for all your tools. What I'm saying is look into what are the ways that you can simplify your business, how you can show the data to take informed decisions on a way that it's easy for you and for your team members.
Well, they've come back and said specifically reporting for minutes of meetings. It's like when Laia was talking about note-taking and summarizing meetings.
So I use Fathom, for example, but you can use Google. Zoom will do that for you. But I use AI tools like I use Otter and I use Fathom. So Fathom, I'm not sure if I am pronouncing it correctly now, but Fathom. So you just connect it to your Google Calendar or your Microsoft Calendar. And what it does, it records all your meetings. And after your meeting, you receive summary of your meeting, and it will also give you some bullet points. And then if you want, you can even develop that further with ChatGPT or any other AI tools. I'm just mentioning ChatGPT because I know ChatGPT is huge. And everyone knows ChatGPT, but there are many others tools like ChatGPT today in the market.
Great. I just popped the links into the chat if you're here on the Zoom. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. Just keep thinking your questions, guys. Put them into the chat box, and I'm happy to go into more detail afterwards. I just wanted to show you this automation that a colleague of mine created. He's an expert in automation, and I just love this. So we were presenting a webinar last month in the end of June about automation and AI, and he showed us all live how to create a proposal in 2 minutes. I just absolutely loved it, and everyone loved it. So I just thought to show this here. So the tools that he used for that, where the recording was done in Zoom, the recording downloads from Zoom directly into his Google Drive. And then he created an automation with a tool called make.com, where he set up an automation where what it does, make.com takes the transcript from Google, fits it into ChatGPT, and he already has a proposal template, but with his business details and everything customized. And honestly, it was literally 2 minutes since make.com took the transcript and made a draft proposal with the template that he has for his business. Of course, never send a proposal that AI has done for you without reviewing it. But then that was 2 minutes after the discovery call. And then what he did is, he always says it depends what the proposal is about and how much you want to narrow it down. But maybe it takes me an extra 10 to 20 minutes to review and make sure that everything is correct and send it out. Usually creating proposals is one of the most time-consuming tasks for business owners. It can take you like up to an hour or even more to create a high-quality proposal and send it.
I just get blown away by this stuff, honestly. And I know, like, I know a lot of you on here are probably way younger than I am. This is a filter. I'm not as young as I look. But I think about one of my first jobs 25 years ago. I was an executive assistant in New York City, and the executive assistant to our legal team did shorthand, sat in on meetings and did little shorthand, and then typed up all the transcripts and the notes and the minutes from the meetings, and then created, the lawyers sat down and created the proposal. I mean, days and days of work that you're telling me now. And look, everyone, 25 years ago was not that long ago. Okay. In my mind, it was 5 minutes ago. But in 2 minutes, we've got all of, like, saves us so much time. So, people like me who are still stuck in, wait, is there a new way to do it? Like, thank you for bringing this forward. And I mean, we're all learning about AI and Digital Boost anyway. We're really obsessed with it. So this is great. Thank you.
And I will say that AI is the future, and you better embrace it, because if you don't embrace it, you are going to be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I can't keep up with the speed of how many things are coming up all the time. But it's an area where, if there is future, is with AI. So that's me. I'm not sure if you have any questions. This is a beautiful photo of myself taken by a wonderful Oakland photographer. So I thought I would better use it. But yeah, if you have any questions, I also pop my contact details here in case you want to flick me an email to ask for any additional tips or tricks or resources. But yeah, I'm not sure if there are any more questions. I just feel that I've been talking a lot.
No, it's been great. And you've been talking exactly the amount that you needed to. I am so thrilled that we were able to walk through this and talk about organizing our systems and getting things in place and giving us examples. I personally would love for you to talk a little, okay, Sonia, I'm getting to you. I'm getting distracted because we're getting questions popping up. But I would love for you to talk about Asana a little bit more for us. And I know that you and I don't have time in the year for you to come and do a workshop with us and walk us through Asana. But do you mind giving us a little insight on the tool and what it's used for and how you use it?
Yes. So maybe we can talk about a workshop. I was meaning to come into the workshop around Asana, but I'm traveling now in September and then towards the end of the year. But I love Asana. It's the tool that I use to organize my business and my life, honestly. So Asana is a task management tool, task and project management tool. But the Asana is evolving so greatly. Like now in Asana, if you have the pay version, you can have that's my business goals and how they break down through your teamwork and the projects that your teams are working on. Personally, I think that for the small businesses, the free version, Asana has a free version that which has some limitations, but it's amazing. If you are a solopreneur or you have a small business and you don't need all the capability of the heavy project management capabilities, it's great. I use it in Asana. I break it down by teams. So I have my operations team. I have my team, my marketing. So I have everything split by marketing, operations, admin, all the areas in my business. And it's a great tool to not only track your tasks and projects, but also to collaborate or communicate. So what you do, you have your team members there, you create all the things that need to get done, and you just put those tasks against a team member with a deadline, with a date. And it's a great way to keep track to keep track of how things are going in the business, and also to keep on top of your own tasks.
So I have a question in the Q&A here that I'm wondering if the free version of Asana would work for this, but here's the question. Are there any workflow tools that non-for-profits can specifically benefit from that aren't too costly?
I'm currently working with a non-for-profit. And the reality is that for the experience that I've had with them only for the last month, because I've been working with them only for a month and a half, they've not been they've not, the tool that they use, I think it's not too costly, but I wouldn't say that it's ideal. But having said that, I'm currently looking into those things for non-for-profits. What are the best tools to manage non-for-profit, like to run a non-for-profit on? So I can't tell you right now, because I'm actually in the middle of working for a non-for-profit and assessing how things are done and what would be the best tools. But I will be happy as soon as I have, if you want to flick me an email, as soon as I have some more information to share that with you. I think with the non-for-profit sector, which I found is tricky, is that fundraising is a huge part of it. So you need to have a tool that Asana doesn't have the capability to track fundraisings. It's more a project management tool. For non-for-profit, fundraising is a huge part of it. So you need to have a tool that allows you to run all your fundraising events there and centralize everything.
Okay, that's a really good point. So
Yes.
Rachel, yeah, reach out to Laia. There's her email address right there, laia@ebm.nz. And as soon as you figure that all out, I'm sure you'll be happy to share.
I am in the process of doing that. And actually, sometimes it's tricky because I find that, as I said at the beginning, not every business is the same. And it's not only that you need to find a tool for a specific industry, but also a tool that suits a specific team. And we've been trialing Risley, we've been trying Vega. Well, we use Vega, we've been trying Risley, another tool for non-for-profits, but still I'm not sold on one.
And Bridget's asking, what tool would you recommend for solopreneurs? And Bridget, do you mean specifically like a low cost or free tool, or just any tool in general, like best tool for solopreneurs? Is that what you're asking?
So while Rachel comes back to you and you have an answer for that, I think that for solopreneurs, if you are starting out or you are not in need or you don't want to pay or you don't need to pay, I think that Notion and Asana are very good starting points. You also have ClickUp and Monday.com and Airtable. But I personally, I am biased here because I absolutely love Asana, and I think Asana does everything that I need. It's not as pretty as Notion, probably, but I think Asana has a huge capability around project management and task management and prioritization, and I absolutely love that. Notion is actually, Notion also is great. I use Notion for some of my clients. Has slightly different capabilities in the project management space. They are a little bit behind on Asana, but it also has its pros. And those two tools, they have a free version that it's very good for solopreneurs starting out who don't want and don't need to start investing into tools right away.
Yeah. So yeah, she had said probably low cost free. So that's great. You answered that. And I'll just let you know, Bridget, we've got a workshop where we are going to break down Notion on the 29th of August. So if you're free at 10 o'clock for that, sign up for that so you get the Zoom link. And anyone who's listening, we can walk through Notion on the 29th of August. Oh, we've got some really nice comments here, like Sonia. Unfortunately, the 20% is the stuff I don't enjoy, so it's easy to procrastinate and work on the 80% instead. This is a welcome reality slap. You are welcome. You're welcome for the slap.
No, but actually, what's her name? Sorry, Sonia?
Sonia, yeah.
Sonia, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy you are sharing this because that's dose of reality that we need to see at some point. And I honestly, last year, I ended the year feeling so burnt out. And I was like, and that's honestly, and I've been running my business for a few years now, but I was feeling so burnt out. And it's like, why I'm feeling so burnt out when I love what I do. And then I realized it's because the last quarter of last year, I came back. I spent 2 months in Spain, August and September. I was working from Spain, enjoying the sun, and it was amazing. And I went back to New Zealand, and then the market was very tricky. And I have been seeing along the year how the business market was going down. So I started putting so much time and effort into my sales and marketing strategy towards the end of the year. So I came back from Spain, no sun, and I was spending too much time doing stuff that was burning me out. And at the beginning, I was like, why I feel that way? Like, I love my business, but why I'm feeling that way? And then I realized I'm putting so much time and effort doing something, sales and marketing. Like, it's marketing is fine with me, but the sales, like having to be selling all the time, it's something that I didn't enjoy, especially, that I was doing a coffee catch up every day, lots of networking. And while I do enjoy doing those, I was doing too much of it. So if that helps, a quick touch around energy management. So you identify, we usually, if for those who read the 6 type of work engineers, you will learn that usually it divides 6 type of work engineers. We all have 2 areas where we are, it's 2 areas where it's our genius, 2 areas that it's all the opposite, like they drain us and we are not capable and competent. And then we have in the middle, an area where we are competent and capable, and probably we do it very well, but they are neutral to us. They don't give us joy, they don't drain us. The issue is if we spend too much time in the middle or in those things that drain us, and we don't spend enough time in an area of genius, you start going down and burn out. So it's finding that balance between spending most of your time in your area of genius and, okay, there are things that as business owners we have to do, because I have to do sales and I have to do marketing. You know what I mean? I love the marketing side of things, especially all the setup and all the automation, but I don't enjoy having to do sales all the time linked to my marketing. So it was like, okay, how can I delegate / automate part of that so I don't have to be doing it all the time? So I didn't stop doing it. I just changed. I put some systems and processes in place so my energy wouldn't go through the drain every week and every month trying to do that.
I can relate to that so strongly. I mean, I think a lot of I have my own business. This is just my side hustle. And I spent 2 days working on a landing page for a new offering. I made the email, I've automated everything. Have I sent it out and started selling it yet? No. It's just like I needed this event more than So we've got a big takeaway from this is give yourself grace. Sonia is saying. Caroline says, I love you are amazing that you start each day with. I'm going to hold on to that one as well, Caroline. That's fantastic.
Yeah, you saw it in my calendar. Do that. Seriously, do that. Tell yourself how amazing you are. Tell yourself how amazing you are every day, because you are. And mindset is key, guys. I'm telling you, and that's not only for women, that's for women and for men. I know that women maybe are more pro to talk more about our feelings, but emotions are big in the day-to-day when you're trying to run your business plus the other 1,000 things. Mindset is key. Tell yourself, I don't care where you are, who you are, how amazing you are, and that you are every day you are doing the best that you can, because you are.
And that goes along with giving yourself grace, right? Sonia, my body clock is in the wrong hemisphere. My best work is done between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Unfortunately, I still have to get up for my paid jobs the next day.
That's a tricky
Beautiful.
one, yes.
Karen, I use a color-coded Google Calendar, which I love, but I need to be able to send a calendar to my customers to book jobs. What would you recommend?
I use Calendly for it. Calendly or Acuity are the two tools that I know the most because my clients or myself use it. So basically, you just Calendly or Acuity, you link it to your Google Calendar. So you need to make sure that don't double book yourself. So basically, you set it up in a way that they book you through your Calendly or Acuity link, and it goes straight into your calendar. And then you just set some limits around. You can only book me 24 hours in advance or things like that. So you know what's coming. But yeah, I will use Acuity or Calendly to do.
Great.
There are more tools out there, but those are the two that I use the most.
Great. Thank you. Well, I am just keeping an eye on the time. And I see that we've got 4 minutes. If anyone has any more questions they want to pop in, I will hold off for that. But I do want to say, Laia, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time to share your mahi with us, coming here first thing in the morning. Well, probably not for you first thing, in the middle of your morning. and sharing this with us because I think it's a really great way for all of us to start our day. We're starting off on the right foot of like organizing ourselves. And I hope all of you have learned something and have had a takeaway, at least to try one of these tools or one of these aspects. If you have questions after this, or if you're watching the replay, please reach out to Laia. Again, her email is laia@ebm.nz. You can also reach out to us at support@digitalboost.co.nz. If you have any questions or you forget this or you don't know how to reach Laia, reach out to us. We're here for any questions that don't relate to this, any other questions you might have, or any suggestions you want for future events. I'm open to that. So, what was the name of the calendar booking tool? Oh, Tiffany, it was Calendly or Acuity.
Acuity.
Acuity is the other one. Yeah. Yeah. This has been a great session. Thank you so much, Laia and Georgia. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you, all of you who come and take time out of your busy days to spend an hour with me and drink your coffee and listen to us chat and join the conversation. I love doing this with you, and we will continue to do it. I will see you on Thursday. We've got another Q&A this week. Go onto our platform and sign up. And Laia, thank you so much. And we will be in muchas gracias. We've got from Caroline.
De nada,
Caroline.
de nada. Thank you. And please reach out on LinkedIn if you want. I hang around on LinkedIn, so feel free to connect in there.
That's also a good point. LinkedIn, get in there, get into your LinkedIn. Thanks,
Yeah,
Laia.
lots of tips and tricks there.
Oh, good. So you're posting on LinkedIn a lot as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, everyone, go enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Matewa.
Bye.
Bye.